Hello everyone, my name is Alexis Harrison and this is Early Childhood Education Internship 40370 for spring semester. The date is April 18th, 2021, and this is my program improvement plan presentation. So observing, documenting, and assessing. I know you're wondering, why did I choose this area? Well, for one, it helps the teacher better understand why a child might be having challenging behavior. 2, it identifies special needs. 3, it shows children's interactions with their peers. And lastly, it allows opportunity for environmental changes. Now, the fourth reason was very, very important to me because it was hard for me to decide which category to improve in the home. Well, I decided, why not just choose observing, documenting, and assessing, because then I can use different forms for different areas in the classroom to make certain changes. So here's my proposal. Step 1, create an assessment for the learning environment. Step 2, correcting the art and craft learning area of the home. Step 3, change the current state of the sensory table in the dramatic play area. Step 4 is obtaining a teacher's journal to record documentation on the children and note their progress / their areas of improvement. And lastly, step 5 is creating a kindness calendar for the children. So step 1, plan and action. Create an assessment for the learning environment. I did the learning environment assessment on the visual and environmental supports, curriculum and instruction, and lastly, behavior, expectation, and strategies. Where you see the dark marks are where the areas of improvement will be made and should be made in the home. Number 1 in visual and environmental supports is academic and non-academic areas are clearly labeled. 2, work areas for teachers, assistants, students are clearly identified for independent work. Number 3, classroom is free of clutter. Next is curriculum and instruction. Students are in cooperative learning groups and students have peer buddies and peer tutoring. Now, mind you, these dark areas are all areas that needs improvement. Lastly, behavior, expectations, and strategies. I circled in a variety of strategies are used to address appropriate and inappropriate behavior. Step 2, plan and action. Correcting the art and craft learning area of the home. So before, we have the coloring books, the Play-Dohs, and the markers all cluttered in the learning area. In the art area, we have paint, construction paper, and all paint utensils and supplies, just all cluttered in the home. And here's the after. The coloring books and the Play-Doh utensils are all organized in a bin with labels. The paintbrush area has labels and everything has a nice compartment for it to go in. The construction paper is color oriented and organized and categorized. Markers, color pencils, and crayons are all in their appropriate order. Step 3, plan and action. Change the current state of the sensory table and dramatic play area. So before, the sensory table was covered in dirt, there was leaves all over it, it started to grow a lot of moss. In the dramatic play area, there was no clothesbin. The children just simply threw their clothes into the closet and closed the door. I spoke with the parents, and here are the changes that we made. The parents bought a new sensory table, and this sensory table would remain indoors so that the children can play with it whenever they would like. And we also acquired a clothing rack for all of the costumes so that the children can take the clothes off of the hanger and learn how to put the clothes back on the hanger when they are finished. Step 4, plan in action. Obtain a teacher's journal to record documentation on the children and note their progress and areas of improvement. Here's an example page from my teacher's journal where I recorded down GP's morning circle routine, different things that he liked and did not like, and I also jotted down different strategies that I would take so that he can become more involved in the activities at hand and so that we can work on his human environmental feelings towards his brother in regards to hitting and not sharing. So, how are the children right now? The good things about the children are that they are honest, courageous, and active. The things that the children need work on are being uncooperative, unfriendly, and uninterested in certain activities. So, step 5, plan and action. Create a kindness calendar for the children. This is the kindness calendar the children and I went by for the month of March. For example, March 1st would be give someone a hug. March 14th would be get dressed without being asked to. March 22nd is sing with all your heart. And March 25th is list all that you are grateful for. So research that supports my proposal. Fluid and Cohen 2019 argue that observing and assessing our children's learning help enhance our knowledge and understanding of how our children develop and learn new things, including new languages to communicate with others. And also, teachers create environments and schedules that allow children to actively participate with learning materials and with each other, which is how they learn best. And that is from NACE 2021. My 3 pieces of evidence: photos, letter from the employer, and documentation and assessment forms. So is my proposal healthy, respectful, supportive, and challenging? Absolutely. And why? Because observation, documentation, and assessing has allowed me to create a kindness calendar that will improve the children's relationship with one another, redo the learning areas in the home, have new materials ordered to allow things to be easily accessible, and improve my documentation skills. Here are my references, and thank you so much for watching.